we are going to be looking about a specific Looney Tunes character. Now, this hasn't happened just yet, but now, in terms of Looney Tunes characters, they're a little bit in the low, like, nothing really much is happening, even though nowadays, yes, there is the Wabbit series, but anything in terms of Looney Tunes, they're not really as big as they used to be, especially in the golden age of cartoons, and even they're not as big as they used to be during the second half of the 90s with the big boom of Space Jam. But Warner Brothers is slowly but surely trying to bring back Looney Tunes in a special little way. Now, you may have heard previously regarding an animated Speedy Gonzales movie that they want to do. There have been reports regarding an actor who has been cast for Speedy, on top of also having a script ready for them. But now there's going to be another one coming by. This time it's going to be Pepe Le Pew. Now, what has apparently happened was that during the San Diego Comic-Con this year, Max Landis actually just slipped it out of nowhere that apparently he is writing a Pepe Le Pew movie for Warner Brothers Animation. And yes, this will be a fully animated feature film. What's pretty much going on there is that Max Landis just pitched it at Warner Brothers, they liked it, so now he is currently writing the script, and we're pretty much going to see what's going to happen from there. Now, on my source here on Cartoon Brew, Max Landis did post a video where he pretty much explains, like, what his thoughts on the character and how he's going to bring him back to in the big screen in this day and age. And he pretty much shows that, like, he showed that he had so much fun writing this character. Like, you could tell that he definitely enjoyed writing this script. So hopefully, like, his goal with Pepe Le Pew is that he'll be able to bring the character onto the big screen, but not only that, but to bring him pretty much bring him in this day and age. I think we can all agree that we're living in a completely different age, how people are reacting so differently than they were when the Pepe Le Pew cartoons were happening back during the 50s and 60s. So, we don't know anything else. There has been no director casted, no actors have been no actors have been revealed who's going to be in this Pepe Le Pew movie. We don't know what the movie is even going to be about, just little bits and pieces here and there. We don't even know if there's going to be a release date. We don't even know if it's going to be greenlit. So, like I said, and by the way, for those of you who are not familiar with what's going on with the Pepe Le Pew movie or Max Landis, let me just read a little bit from the Cartoon Brew article here. Landis, the 30-year-old son of director John Landis, for those of you who don't know, John Landis is the acclaimed director who directed such great comedies including Blues Brothers, scored a hit with the first mainstream feature he wrote, Chronicle, which was followed by a string of unsuccessful films including American Ultra, Mr. Right, and Victor Frankenstein. Landis is currently the lead writer of the BBC America series Dirk Gently's Hostilic Detective Agency, and is also one of the 6 credited writers on next year's Power Rangers film. Landis is still in the process of finishing a script for a Pepe Le Pew movie. There's no guarantee that the film will even be produced, and considering how long Warner's has been developing a Speedy Gonzales film, don't expect to see a Pepe film anytime soon. Now, I do understand that it is kind of a weird choice that they would suddenly decide to go and make a movie for Pepe Le Pew. Like, when it comes to like individual Looney Tunes characters, it's kind of strange. Like, even for me, it is a bit strange how they decided to start out with characters like Speedy Gonzales and Pepe Le Pew. Like, even though, yeah, they are like one of the higher prestiged ones since their animated shorts, including the Speedy's debut with Speedy Gonzales and Pepe Le Pew's I believe it is for Sentimental Reasons. They both won an Oscar, so they pretty much got that credit going for them. But anyways, like, just the idea like having Looney Tunes characters have their own movie and start out with this, I find it kind of weird that they start out with them and not start out with, like, you know, the most well-known Looney Tunes characters. Like, well, like, if they're gonna go with that route, why don't they just start off with a Bugs Bunny movie or a Daffy Duck movie? I don't know, maybe it's just me, but, like, from what I'm gathering, that when Warner Brothers wants to, like, they're interested in making a Speedy Gonzales movie and a Pepe Le Pew movie, it sounds like they want to go and open up, like, this Looney Tunes cinematic universe where, like, you got all, like, each Looney Tunes character would have their own separate cartoon, not separate cartoon, but I mean, like, they'll have their own separate movie, and then eventually, like, it would ultimately form, like, this big crossover, like, this big Looney Tunes movie. But even though, like, when it comes to the history of Looney Tunes movies, like, after the period of Looney Tunes Back in Action, like, there's been nothing but a series of, like, trial and errors. Like, actually, funny enough, this is not the first time that somebody wanted to do a Pepe Le Pew movie. I don't know specifically who wanted to do it, but there are some people, there are some people who wanted to make some movies based on some Looney Tunes characters, like Pepe Le Pew and Marvin the Martian individually, both of which they would have, and coincidentally enough, both of which they would have been voiced by Mike Myers. They wanted to go and do that, and even I remember seeing, like, a demo or, like, this test reel for Marvin the Martian, but it never fell through. Like, they had an idea for it, but it never ended up happening. They decided to screw it. The only thing that we've seen in recent years that's going on with the Looney Tunes is actually these computer animated shorts. If you guys don't know, recently there have been some animated shorts that have been released, especially of Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. Rather they be like Tweety and Sylvester's I Taught Putty Tat, Daffy's Rhapsody, or, like I said, the numerous amount of Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons, like, they would be appearing before some Warner Brothers Warner Brothers family feature films. In fact, coming soon, just a little heads up for In Front of Storks, there is going to be a Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoon. All of which, by the way, are made by Real Effects, the same people that did Free Birds and The Book of Life. So just a little heads up there. Like, you know, they're funny. They're definitely great. But, like, that's pretty much all that you're getting in terms of recent Looney Tunes. So having this strategy for them, like, wanting to do the individual characters is kind of weird for me. Oh, and this is one more thing. I forgot to mention that on top of that, they also want to do, like, rumors are pretty much spreading around that they want to do a Space Jam 2 starring LeBron James, which, like, it slowly but surely might become probably possible, but honestly for me, I don't have anything against Space Jam, but I don't really see the point of having a sequel, especially since the first one really was a product of its time, considering, like, we are talking about a movie that stars Michael Jordan, and the movie was released back when Michael Jordan was one of the biggest names in sports. So, now that we do have a Pepe Le Pew movie, like, okay, now even though nothing is really official just yet, like, if they decided to do a Pepe Le Pew movie, would it actually work? And honestly, like, I don't know what Max Landis has planned for this, and, like, I don't really know much about Max Landis, honestly, but, like, from most that I could tell is that, like, yeah, I did mention a lot of his credits from the Cartoon Brew article, but also that, like, from what I know is that he has a much bigger presence online, like, on social media, more so than he does on, more than his writing credits. Like, people know him on Twitter more than him as a writer. So, with that said, like, having a Pepe Le Pew movie, I don't really see it in a way. Like, I understand Speedy Gonzales because, in terms of, like, the cartoons themselves, like, they do have a little bit of a structure where it can have a story that you could pretty much grow into a feature film. It does make sense, since it talks about the Mexican border, and we got Speedy Gonzales with a hungry village who is his quest to go and get some American cheese. And, like, you can pretty much go and incorporate an entire commentary regarding the relationship between U.S. and Mexico and how the border pretty much works. With Pepe Le Pew, however, I just don't really see it. Now, of course, nowadays a lot of people would mention regarding the fact that, in terms of the Pepe Le Pew cartoons, nowadays with social media and people pretty much crying, like pretty much flipping out over every little thing that seems just a tiny bit socially incorrect and stuff like that, okay, yeah, there is that factor, but I don't really see it more because honestly, I don't see, like, because of the cartoons themselves. The cartoons are built more as cartoons. You got this flirtatious lover, Pepe Le Pew, who falls in love with a cat. Who falls in love with a cat who he mistakes as a petite femme skunk fatale, and just, like, goes chasing the cat around. And from then on, you just get a consecutive series of, like, little gags of what they can think up with it. Now, they're great cartoons. They're absolutely fantastic. Even if you watch it nowadays, they're a lot of fun to watch. It's just, I don't really see how you can take that and turn it into a feature film. Now, from the stuff that I've heard, don't quote me on this. This is not official, but, like, I've heard from a few people that apparently this could be in the style of, like, a 70s thriller where, like, basically they would do something like Halloween where, like, Pepe Le Pew would be chasing this cat around. But I don't know. I just don't necessarily see it. The worst that, the one thing I ask that I hope that this does not become is that I'm just hoping that Max Landis doesn't turn it into a 90-minute cartoon, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to 90-minute cartoons, like when they would turn it into something like the recent Ice Age films or Hotel Transylvania or stuff like that, where instead of making instead of having a good story and likable characters, they just put all their focus onto the gags, and some, like, even though some of them can work, most of them don't, but they kind of forgot the factor that it is a movie and they have to pretty much sacrifice the most important elements that makes a good movie, like a good story and well-developed characters. So that's pretty much the worst case scenario that Max Landis could do with Pepe Le Pew, is just make 90 minutes of just consecutive gags over and over again. And honestly, like, that just doesn't work. No, like, absolutely it doesn't. Like, the thing is like, I'm sick and tired of these stupid 90 minutes cartoons. I mean, if you want to go and make a cartoon, that's great. Just make it less than, like, 15 minutes and I'll be happy with it. Like, and like, if you're gonna go and make a movie, make a freaking movie. Don't waste my time trying to do your zany animation bullcrap that in some cases might not even be good in the first place. Like, go and actually make a movie so that I know you can make a movie. That's all I ask. It should not be hard to do. But I don't know, like, I'm not gonna doubt Mr. Landis over here. Maybe he has a good plan with it. Maybe he has something that can actually turn out great. But with that said, will this actually happen? I don't know. But again, like, I just find it kind of weird. Like, if you are going to start making Looney Tunes movies, like, wouldn't it make sense to go and start a big franchise off with your biggest character, with Bugs Bunny, like with a Bugs Bunny movie or a Daffy Duck movie or somewhere around those lines? I don't know. Maybe they got an idea. It's just, we'll have to wait and see. I just don't really understand how they're going to do this, but maybe they got a plan. Maybe they don't. Honestly, we'll just have to wait and see. And, like, even though right now, like, Speedy Gonzales and Pepe Le Pew is now on hold, if one of them is officially greenlit by Warner Brothers, then, like, we could be expecting a lot more Looney Tunes cartoons, depending if they do well. That, and also, if they do accept it, we might, like, we're going to have to wait for a while, because I can guarantee you, if either Speedy Gonzales or Pepe Le Pew is going to happen, then there's no way it's going to be released sometime this decade. We're going to wait until the 2020 decade to see if that'll even happen. So, yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing that's going on with Pepe Le Pew. But for now, all I could say is that I wish the best of luck for Max Landis to write the script, and we'll see how it goes if we'll eventually get a Pepe Le Pew movie. Hey guys, this is Animat. I just want to remind you guys that this is just a little taste of what you can get with the Animation Podcast. This is not all of it. If you guys want to go and listen to the full episodes of the Animation Podcast, then allow me to show you some of the different ways that you can go. First off, you can actually go on the website that it is hosted on, Filmbook, so you can go directly onto there. You can also go and check out the official Filmbook Podcast YouTube page, so at least you don't have to go away from YouTube and you can listen to the podcast right there. But if you would like to listen on the go, like if you want to listen it to on your phone or on your iPad and all that kind of stuff, then you can listen to it on either iTunes or you can listen to it on Android. So those are all the different options, and if you'd like to have more info, then all you have to do is just check in the description down below. And with all that said, I just want to say thank you guys so much for listening, and until next time, see you later, dudes!